Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name's Colt. Coming to you with another tree job today. So this is going to be a full removal on a fairly large box elder behind us here. There she be. And like most box elders, it's pretty busted up. We had this large lead kind of come off into this area here, smashed, took the top out of that little white pine. So we'll have to untangle that. I think first we're going to go up after the canopy, and this is actually for my sister and her husband. They just put a nice kind of fire pit in, so it's this large tree is up over basically where they sit there for the fire, so they're not liking that. It's only going one way, and then now we've got some definite decay in there. I think we're pretty much going to take it off from here up and leave that big trunk there. It's kind of still a visual barrier between the properties. So that's the plan. I'm going to go up with the lift. Got a huge drop zone. We'll drop everything down here. Then I've got the tractor, chipper. I did say full removal, so technically it's not, but we're going to leave some of the wood for them. But taking all the brush, so I'll chip as big as I can and we'll leave some of the wood for them. All right. Should be mostly a bomb show. So I think I'm going to kind of work these two main leads down first, and then I might actually chip that away because I'm going to have to go a little forward. It's actually north. I'll have to go further north to get these last kind of couple of leads. that half, we're calling that a half, is basically down. I'm probably only going to bring it down to about there and leave a big kind of habitat snag for them. But having this down, especially on this variety of tree, is a good feeling because all of this weight was up over my lift basically as I'm working it. And I had two experiences recently that kind of give me pause when I'm working with my lift above, you know, a tree with a lot of weight on it. And one was about a month ago. I walk out my front door and all at once I start hearing a tree cracking and popping off, and here, similar to this but a smaller tree, so much less weight, a box elder on the other side of my fence broke off and kind of fell into the neighbors. Now it was just the backyard, so no big deal for them, but calm day, no breeze, it just decided to go. And then just this last week, my wife and I and then my brother and sister-in-law were playing golf. We're on the golf course, and they hit their tee shot under this maple tree. So then they hit their approach shots onto the green or whatever, and we're on the green putting, and all at once I hear that same sound, tree cracking off, and I look back and hear that tree that they were just under, a maple tree, big co-dominant maple tree, one half was breaking off and fell into the fairway. And again, it was a fairly calm day. So it just goes to show you it doesn't have to be a crazy windy day for these trees just to decide all at once that they're gonna go. So don't like kind of lollygagging around under the weight, just like getting it off quick. And obviously the more weight you start getting off the tips, it's that much more weight exponentially at the kind of the base or co-dominant unions. This union doesn't look all that terrible, but you know, down below it we got rot. So these box elders or Manitoba maples or ash leaf maples, whatever you want to call them, depending on your part of the world, they're kind of weed trees. From a tree guy's perspective, they're not bad dealing with them though. They're soft wood, cuts nice, certainly better than ash. I'm gonna see what else I can get here from this spot. I don't know how much more I can reach, but I'll cut what I can reach, get it on the ground, probably chip that away, and then I'll move the lift back and get at the rest of it. All right, we're gonna move the lift out of here, and I've convinced her to let me chip and just broadcast kind of in this wood line here. It's not gonna be that much chip, so I'll just kind of fly chip it into there. That'll be awesome because then I don't have to forward all the material out to the chipper all the way to the road. I'll just go disconnect the truck from the chipper and wheel the chipper back here with the tractor. But got to get this lift out of the way. I'll probably position the chipper right around in here. That way I can just grab and feed. Got a little bit of rain last night. It's wetter than what I was hoping for it to be, but well, basically half done. Now I can get the lift in here a little further and we'll wreck out that side. I might move the little playhouse quick, and then we'll just repeat the process. So far so good, but yeah, I mean, their whole side yard would have looked like this, and the front yard, so I'm happy to keep this back here and just do it this way, way more efficient. Alright, second time up. On these brittle trees like box elder, like you saw there, I kind of wanted it to hold on as long as possible to miss the apple tree. So a simple top cut's the best. If you put an undercut, it's going to snap off too fast and it would have fallen into the apple tree. By just doing a top cut kind of slowly and almost leaving the hinge wood on the bottom side with the bark helps it to hang on as long as possible. I'll implement that on box elder and like silver maple around here. They'll just break before any hinge wood will really work. Well, I obviously bumped my camera here, so sorry about the less than desirable footage. But we'll get through this second half real quick, so just bear with me. On this one, we're kind of leaning right into the spruce, but it's a little bit more upright, so I do think I will try a little bit of a face cut. I want to try and turn it over. I don't want to let it just smash out, so I think I'm going to rig and hang it, and then hopefully it'll just kind of be dangling in the spruce, and I can bomb down there and pull it out. You got to be careful with box elder. You get too aggressive, she'll just snap off. That had happened before. I use this method a lot because my lift is too short for most of the trees. That's how I drew it up. So on here we got these two leads that are kind of leaning back, and then this one larger one that's out into the drop zone. So on this one, I'm going to elect to keep these all together, use this weight to pull these two back. If I go ahead and cut this one off, now I've got to send these the wrong way. And I'm trying to keep butts all the same way just so it's a little easier to grab with the tractor and feed the chipper with. Just tempted to take this one. I do have this kind of lower arm stretched out down here. I did have one time a couple years ago where I did that, and I just barely caught a lower stub basically that I should have cut off, and I plinkoed one right on top of my old chipper. Smashed it all up. That sucked. So I'm gonna cut this off. Now have quite a bit more confidence in not hitting that and having it land on top of my lift. Hopefully you saw most of that. The camera was kind of cockeyed. I don't know if I bonked it at some point, but I've got the lift moved here. I think what I'm going to do is go up onto these tips and try working that back. I don't have a pull saw with me. And just get these tips out. That way I can start hopefully working this wood back to the trunk of the tree. At least on all that stuff up there, as I start working it back, will be down and gone, and there won't be any weight up above me, basically. So it's going to be a challenge. It's a mess on the other side. I was just looking at it, but we get set up and at least get this stuff out. Figured I might as well do that now before I start chipping this stuff away. My plan is just to work in from this side. I did get permission to basically cut whatever I wanted in here. It's going to be a mess. We've got the top of this little white pine in here, and of course all this box elder to deal with. And this pine's in good shape, so I'm just going to prune as little as I can on it just to get into the space I need to cut these box elder tips. We've got some major pressure on this elm tree here, so we're gonna have to really be cautious here. I have no clue what's going to happen when I cut this, but I think, okay, we're not on that tight then. Actually, that's off. Good. We're snapped right there. Moved in here now. Just to reiterate, we're going to work this back as far as we can. I may even reposition if the thing's still up. I'd rather work this thing from above the weight than below it if I can help it. We can just slowly work that thing down, get the tips all the way back. So it's not that hard, just kind of scooting the lift in the holes I need to go. Okay, that's about all we can reach there. See, I got a hydraulic leak. What else is new? Okay, I'm not sure what I'm going to find. I'm going to start working these tips back and hope that this log starts to settle. I mean, otherwise I'll have to nudge the lift in and maybe cut it halfway. I guess we'll see. It can be hard to know what kind of dynamics you're dealing with, but I'll start working these tips back slowly. Now at least I don't have any of this stuff above me that was all right here. That's all down, and we got most of that scooted out of here. Okay, I don't think I was recording for a lot of that, unfortunately, but basically what I did is I just got in here with the saw and was working these tips back. There's a fence under here. It's crushed now. The tree crushed it that I did hit with my 201. So I got the 500i out and I was just working this wood back. So now I got this just posted twice. I think I can just shove it over with my tractor, but I got to get to chipping first. So yeah, I just got in here. Here's that fence. I don't know, can you see that? I mean, this thing with these fences, they blend in so good. Hard to see. But yeah, that thing's just kind of barely resting on there. Like I say, I think I can just shove it over. So yeah, I think we're good to go. She's all down. There that is up there. Can you see that? Where it ripped out. All right, let's get the chipper running. Start cleaning up this mess. Okay, just for the fun of it, we're going to try the forestry winch out. I just got this not too terribly long ago. Wallenstein FX85. I just tipped over that log there. And I just want to yank that out. I think we're going to try tying onto the butt and pulling it out of there, hopefully. Pretty big piece of wood. Let's find out. These. Pretty big piece. Let's see your mini skid steer do that, huh? I'm just kidding. I want a mini skid steer too, but you're not putting a 3-point attachment on it, obviously. All right, there's the final product. We did blow some chip into the wood line there. I think that looks pretty good. And there's their tall stem. They wanted a pile of wood left. Everything's cleaned up. Only thing is this area in here is awfully low and wet. Right in here. So I rutted it up pretty bad. So I took the grapple and kind of raked it, but it's so wet I can't really grade it right now. So they'll have to wait till it dries up and just kind of rake it out, throw some grass seed in there. Should be good to go.